Hey, buddy, why the hell are we out here?
Well, while I was waiting for the sync to analyze the data we got in the last part, I thought we'd take a time to sit down, visit some of the high spots of Vegas and surrounding areas, and recount about our journeys across the Mojave. I mean, we seem to have similar paths, and I'd like to figure some things out.
Okay, seems fair. You picked a nice spot.
Lake Las Vegas. Prime time.
It's beautiful. I can hear the grunts working their sweat off in Camp Golf.
Yeah, so let's get down to some storytelling. I got a doozy of one to start us off, okay? So if you head to the town of Good Springs. Right, so, very start of my journey, okay? Good Springs was completely doomed. Powder gangers in the south, Viper gangers in the north, and you wouldn't believe this, right? Super mutant behemoth. 3 of them approaching from the west. All coming into this tiny trading town in California.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So I had just woken up, right? I'd been shot in the head a couple of days prior, and I was still recovering. So suddenly these 3 groups, right? Vipers, Powders, and Super Mutants all converge in the center of town. Big fuck up mess, right? These Good Springers, they couldn't organize a piss up in a brewery. So they couldn't get together a militia without me. So I suddenly came to, right? I managed to recover myself, not to full strength, but I didn't need full strength for the situation. I pulled out my trusty revolver, and, 3 shots to the Super Moon Behemoths, no problem. But the Viper Gangers and the Powders, there's too many of them to really take care of them all together. So eventually I had to lead them into this giant quarry. Ever heard of it, Quarry Junction?
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, well, the Deathclaws just mutilated the entire armies, and I managed to get out as I do, with myself intact. Save the town of Good Springs by my own 2 hands. It was a rough day.
I had a much less epic version of that. I mean, I just killed a few powder gangers, and then they were safe. Wait, what the hell is a super mutant behemoth?
It's a giant super mutant. It's interesting. It's something you rarely get to see over here.
Huh. Weird.
So I guess you don't have any grand stories about Good Springs. What about if we move on to the Powder Gangers? I mean, there was that one time where I wore a great Powder Ganger suit, and I infiltrated their base in the NCR Correctional Facility, did a few jobs for them, took out a bounty hunter, things like that. Eventually, they let me in on their little secret. You see, Powder Ganger stands for crack cocaine.
Really?
Yeah, so I was in their base, and on the table there was just like 4 lines of the stuff. And what they do every weekend is they would have races to see who could get their 4 lines done quicker, which is where the Powder Ganger name came from.
Oh! You see, I always thought it came from the fact that they use blasting powder to blow up.
See, that's what they want you to think. That's what they want you to think.
Oh. Yeah, I went there and just slaughtered everyone without asking questions. Well, I think I initially wanted to ask questions, but I made a few mistakes, pissed a couple people off, and next thing you know, machine guns were going off, and things got out of control real fast. I think sometime I had a lot of fun was when I went to a little town called Prim in the south. You been there?
Yeah, it's interesting. I went there a couple of times. Go on.
Yeah, I think I met the biggest douchebag in the world there. His name was Beagle. Deputy Beagle. You ever heard of the guy?
I know the man. I once rescued that man from the Bison Steve Hotel. He was holed up in there
shit!
with a bunch of I think it was Powder Gangers actually, and I had to get him out of there.
Oh my god! I rescued him once from there, and he was being held by Powder Gangsters.
That's ridiculous. How many times does that guy get kidnapped by Powder Gangers? What
obviously at least twice in a month, because he's a shitty man. He's an idiot, is what he is.
It's probably because of Prim, before I arrived. Obviously you came before me as well, I guess. Didn't have a sheriff. The sheriff died like a while back, and before I came, it didn't have a sheriff at all, and I installed the NCR as the government down there. So they're ruling the place now.
No. I didn't come after you then, because when I was there was no NCR. It was just it was nothing, and I had to install law of my own. I just reprogrammed their little robot, and it's walking up and down their streets as we speak.
Ah, that's bullshit. You can't reprogram a tin can.
Well, I did.
You reprogrammed the tin can, you say?
No. Well, that's physically impossible because there are no wires in a tin can.
You've obviously never made a nuke or grenade.
That's not reprogramming, that's filling a tin can with pure gasoline.
Reprogramming, repackaging, however you want to say it. Only a genius can change a tin can's programming. I mean, it's really simple as that.
Okay. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with this Prim thing. Maybe they kicked out the NCR or kicked out Prim Slim. Something happened. I don't know.
I don't know. Prim Slim was still there when I got here. This is really weird.
Huh.
So, wait. Have you ever heard of the dry lakes near Prim?
The dry lakes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
Mass amounts of ants. Huge amounts of ants.
Big ant problem.
And if you head a little further east, I think it is, you find a giant amount of rad scorpions and a crashed plane. I got a story about that plane, right?
Yeah.
So, when I was a little boy in the Mojave, I went to Gene's skydiving. You know that place?
Yeah, I know the place.
So we set off a plane right from Gene's skydiving, flew right over Prim, and you'll never guess what? A guy with a rocket launcher shot at us.
What?
I know, so I had to single-handedly, at the age of 5, pilot the plane down to its safety, but he crash-landed there and haven't been able to recover it since.
Wow, that is very impressive, considering most vehicles don't work anymore.
I know, you don't see many of them anymore, but Gene's skydiving used to have a hell of a lot of planes in there.
That is crazy. Wow. I can't... I've never flown a plane, although I did help the boomers, you know those guys?
Oh yeah,
I helped them
recovered the
retrieve
plane
a
from
bomber. What?
Lake Mead.
Lake Mead? It was a B-52?
Yeah, I pushed it up to the surface a couple of months back.
You used ballasts?
No, I picked it up with my bare hands and dragged it to the surface.
I doubt that somehow.
Look, I'm hungry. Do you fancy going to somewhere to eat? I know a great picnic spot.
Yeah, let's go get some chips.
Death balls!
Are you okay?
Yeah, I like to get it out every now and then. You know, that therapy I went to recently really helped me with that, you know? I don't feel like there's death calls everywhere anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of an irrational fear.
I know, well, I currently feel like I'm being watched a bit, but, I mean, at least I don't feel like there's death claws everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, besides, being watched? We're in the middle of nowhere. Who's gonna watch us out here?
Yeah, I know. I specifically traveled all the way here to Utah so we'd get some peace and quiet. I know it's a lot of way to go for, food, but, only for the best.
Yeah, things in this world just seem to, I don't know, pass by faster sometimes. Didn't seem like that long of a journey.
Sometimes you just want to be one with nature and the creatures around you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and this is a great spot. Looks beautiful.
Oh my god!
You okay there? I think I smell smoke.
Yeah, I'm okay. Look, I'm just tired. I've ranted enough about myself today. So, any cool stories to tell from your adventures in the Mojave?
Yeah, well, I'm nibbling on this endless biscuit. I once had this, still do, I guess. I just feel sort of disconnected from him out here. Anyway, I have this companion, this buddy, named Raul. He's this funny little Mexican ghoul. Anyway, I found him up in this old radio place with all these super mutants. And, I took him out of there because he was being tortured and I killed those bitches. Anyway, I was taking him around because he wanted to meet other old folks. And there was this one old guy named Loyal. He worked at the Boomers. We talked about the Boomers earlier. Anyway, I was trying to find him for months on end. Couldn't find the bastard. In the midst of trying to find him, I lost another one of my companions, Cass, and then found her a few days later. And then finally, months later, I found the guy on a regular trip for supplies. It's ridiculous what you find in this place sometimes. I mean, I can't think of living in a weirder time than this. Just shit happens all the time.
You seem to be traveling with exactly the same people as me. Cass, the Rose of Sharon Cassidy, I assume, right?
Yeah. Drinks a lot of whiskey?
Yep, same one. Raul Tejeda?
Yeah, Tejada.
Tejeda, yeah. I know the one. Weird. Goes by the name Miguel at times.
Yeah, well, that's what it says on his jacket.
Damn, this is too coincidental. Maybe...
Have they ever mentioned me? They haven't ever mentioned you.
Maybe we're from different times. You know what I mean? Like, you traveled to Mojave like 50 years after I came and stuff like that.
I don't...
Even then, things seem so
It
similar.
doesn't make any sense. I mean, there's nothing in the history books about a Legion advancement 50 years ago in the Mojave. None of this existed 50 years ago. There was no New Vegas Strip. The NCR wasn't here. That doesn't make any sense.
Hey, listen, I can't figure this shit out. Why don't I take your mind off things with another one of my awesome stories?
Okay, let's hear it.
Alright, so, Craig Boone. Remember the kid?
Yeah.
So I once took I think it was him. Maybe it was Veronica. You know Veronica Sant... Oh crap, I can never pronounce her last name. The Brotherhood Veronica, you know, lesbian Veronica.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Good gal.
Maybe it was her, or maybe it wasn't her. I don't know, I took somebody... Maybe I didn't, maybe I went alone. I don't know. I went up to this thing, this big rock place on the Colorado. Right? You know, this rock formation out across Colorado where there's a bunch of death jaws. Mm-hmm. Right? These are like death claws, but even deadlier. And there was like 100 of them. And I just started slaughtering them, and I just started killing them, and I killed their leaders. And one of the Deathjaw leaders spoke to me. The Deathclaw leader spoke to me. He called me the chosen one, the prophecy. And,
whoa, wait, shh. Hold up here. What you're saying here doesn't make sense. Deathjaws don't exist. You're lying.
Alright, then let's see some evidence.
Evidence?
Deathjaws do so exist. They're an experimental mix between Cazadors, Robo-Scorpions, Scorpions, and Deathclaws. Don't you understand? You're such an idiot.
How would they be called Deathjaws when none of those things even have jaws except Deathclaws?
Because the jaws come from the Deathclaws. Simple.
Then a Deathclaw would just be called a Deathjaw. Why would mixing with any of those things increase its jaw? If anything, it would look messed up. It'd be called, like, the Death Tail or something. Because all of those things have crazy tails.
God damn it, Dicktron, please, can't you just leave this alone?
No, I won't leave it alone. Putty, you're lying.
No, Dicktron, I'm sure these things happen. You're not listening to me, okay? I don't lie.
No, you have been. In fact, whether you know it or not, you've been lying this whole time. For example, there's no way it's physically possible for you, no matter what, to be able to lift an over 20-ton machine out of a lake underwater and survive. It's impossible. And supermutant behemoths, they don't even exist in this part of the world. You haven't been telling the truth, whether you know it or not.
But I remember it like as clean as day. There's no other memory in my head.
Then I think something or someone has tampered with your memory.
I do have a family history of getting shot in the head.
Putty, I think you have memory loss. You're filling in the gaps in your life, in your experiences, through that. Let me think. Since all these crazy things happened to you, what started all of them? When did you start remembering all these crazy things? After what moment in your life did all this stuff happen?
I think it all started when my mom left. And, wait. I'm thinking about it. Perhaps that was a made-up memory, too. What do I know is real?
Huh. I think you're just compensating for some sort of trauma that you had. This is all psychological.
Did I really get shot in the head outside Goodsprings? Did I really travel to Zion Canyon? Are there really 20 Deathclaws standing behind me?
Did you just say you were shot in the head in Goodsprings?
Yeah, I was dragged out into a well, I don't know if this is real or not now, but I was dragged out into a cemetery somewhere and shot in the head. The guy took the platinum chip away from me. It started my whole journey, but how much of my journey is really real?
It's so weird. I was shot in the head out in Good Springs.
You don't think that my memory compensation comes from your adventure? That my memories have been tampered with using your memories when we merged in the time-space continuum?
So, you're remembering things that aren't your own?
I don't think that's it, but possibly. Look, this is too much heavy shit. Let's head back to the Mojave, and let's get that data.
Let's do it!
Alright, here we go. I don't know what this is going to tell us, but here's what the sync dug up.
Okay, let me see here. Let me get on my reading glasses. Oh, that's right, I don't need reading glasses. Okay.
Built into the helmet.
Oh yeah, technology. So, let's see here. La-da-da, thank you for using our test. Robco, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go.
Do we get a discount on our next DNA splicing? We usually do from that place.
No, but we get a 30% discount the next time we buy from Robco DNA Corp on another DNA splicer.
Okay, because that thing totally still exists.
Hey, I'm sure I know Mr. House. We could use this as a valid coupon with him. Buddy? You okay there, bud? I'll just read the results. Okay, let's see here. Subject A, I think that's you, Putty. That says Putty. Subject A, subject B, Dictron. Okay, la-da-da-da-da. Subject A, match to canine, 0%. Match to feline, 0%. Kangaroo. Cyborg. Putty! This says subject A match to cyborg, 100%.
The chart lies!
It's not the chart, it's a machine!
I guess I have to accept it. I'm a cyborg.
I mean, everything's pointing to it. Anyway, we should have taken that book. Okay, let's see here. Bunch of other animals, whatever that is. Bees? Why would we... Okay. Wait. This at the bottom. This last thing. Subject A match to subject B 100%.
Wait, what?
It says we're the same person. That doesn't make any sense. We don't look the same.
Damn it! It was clear all along. Dictron, I think I know what this means. I've had suspicions for a couple of hours now, and it's all but confirmed them.
No.
We are the same person.
No.
From different universes.
No, it can't be true. We're not the same person. It doesn't even make sense.
Look, when you transferred over here from your dimension, or when I transferred over there from mine, I mean, it's happened a lot.
Yeah.
We've messed up the space-time continuum. You've noticed in your world things are a lot worse than in my world, right?
Yeah.
Nuclear bomb type things falling everywhere, dance parties of dead people every other week. Cass has come back to life how many times?
4?
So, things are worse in your world. Your world is slowly falling apart. The space-time continuum is falling in on itself. You can't stay there forever. Eventually your world is just gonna die because it's all messed up. The timeline is messed up. The time that you did things. Think about it. You killed Lieutenant Hayes, right?
Yeah.
That's not meant to happen. Dictron Nickel is not meant to kill Lieutenant Hayes. Things are not meant to go that way, and it's causing your universe to destroy itself.
I didn't kill Lieutenant Hayes. He turned on me. Wait. Oh.
It doesn't matter how it happened, Dictron. He's dead, and that's not supposed to be. On the opposite spectrum, my world is fine, but look at me. Look at me, Dictron. I'm a cyborg, and I'm malfunctioning because of our worlds coming together. My Tesla coils are broken, and I've made a promise to my brain that I'll never come back into my body. So what am I? My days are numbered. There's only one way of solving this, but it'll take time. Go back to your universe. Finish things you need to do. When the time comes, on that last road, the road we must walk both alone and together, will come. The battle at Hoover Dam. Let me know when you are ready.